Welcome to Always On Call, the show about caregiving by caregivers. I'm Kris McCabe. Caregiving is about walking hand in hand through a disease with your loved one and facing those challenges together. Dementia looks different for everybody, and figuring out what your loved one's journey will look like is going to be confusing at first, but it can teach you to see life in a new way. Today we're chatting with Ty Lewis. Ty Lewis is a caregiver to her mother, Gertrude. She's also a momager to her two talented daughters in the entertainment industry, a devoted wife, and the CEO of Jordan Lewis Consulting, which focuses on special education, advocacy, tutoring and literacy, and business coaching. And she's also a certified dementia practitioner. Ty, I'm so excited to have you here.
I am so excited to be here. I cannot wait to answer questions and just be with my friend. I love you.
So let's get into it. How has caring for your mom changed the way you view and live your life?
Uh, Caring for my mom has changed the way that I live and view my life. I view it now from the lens of servant leadership. Um, I've always had a servant's heart, but having to take care of someone who solely depends on me, having to bend down and go low, because we all my philosophy is we always have to be humble, right? And so having to go low and lotion my mom's feet and bend down and put on her shoes, wipe her butt, help her get dressed, all of these things, it just made me realize that in all things we have to serve, and we learn how to serve through love. And so it just made me have a more tender heart, even though I am really loving. It just caused my heart to be extremely tender, continue to have a intentional heart towards those who are less fortunate and need care, and just see, I think, everybody in a different view, understanding that everybody is going through something. And so it has really shifted the trajectory of my life and just my thought process and my perspective and everything.
Well, you have quite a few certifications under your belt. How did that dementia focused education impact how you're able to care for your mom?
So yeah, I'm smart, right? No, I do have a lot of certifications, but one of the things that I often tell people is nothing is wasted. And that's what I love about life. You're going through life and you're going through the process and just the things of life. And sometimes you feel like, why am I doing these things, or why am I going through this? And at the end of your journey, or the end of a season or a process, you feel like, wait a minute, I needed this because of this. And so that's what I've come to realize. So for me, I started out in education. My mother was an educator, so she inspired me to get my education degree. So I have a degree in general ed, in special education, curriculum and instruction, reading, and I'm also a certified Lexile educator. I've been an assistive technology specialist and have just worked in education for over 17 years. And so when it came, time to take care of my mom, all of the things that I worked so hard for, my master's, my, education specialist degree, all of these things, it wasn't, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was training for what was to come. And so now I look back and say, all of those times was in the classroom with children who had special needs, and I was able to tend to them, and I was able to implement strategies. And as an assistive technology specialist, I can do all of those things now with my mom. And so it has trained me well and equipped me to be able to carry out, the things that I need to do with my mom right now.
You just talked about your background as a teacher. How have you brought teaching into caregiving?
One of the things that our principal used to instill in us is that we have to make sure that we're not just teaching standards, is what we call them, but that we're making everything connected to the real world and what we call real world experiences. And so, because of that, I was able to take what I've learned in the classroom and as an assistive technology specialist when I worked at the building level, and worked with students in the district, is that I was able to bring those things and work with mommy. And so, like, for example, as an assistive technology specialist, I was able to think of different devices that would work with mommy to help with her communication and her mobility and even her writing. And so I use things like a pencil grip. I'll use things like a shower grip. And when people hear the word technology, they think, oh, is it electronic? And that's not necessarily true. That's a walker, a cane, a wheelchair, Go Talk, anything across the board that will give, an individual access. And so I was able to take all of that training and work with mommy, um, with my reading background, just making sure that we have a print rich environment. So labeling items in the home like the refrigerator, the mirror, the sofa, and making sure that she makes that connection between the word and then the object. And so, being an educator, again, nothing is wasted. Just being able to apply all of my knowledge and say, you know what, I am equipped for this, I can do this. And then seeing mommy grow. And so, things like we would sit in data meetings and listen to the principal over and over again and have to look at data and see how data just allows you to move to the next thing. And so based on that, I use data charts to track mommy's bowels and just her behavior and all of these things. So everything I learned in education has helped me to work with mommy in every stage of Alzheimer's.
I see you share these educational strategies on social media. Can you tell me more about that?
Sure. One of the things that I love to do is turn my reality into reels. And so by doing that, I get to share a part of our life and show people strategic ways to walk out this life. Um, as a content creator and quote unquote influencer, one of the questions I get the most is, can you please help me because I'm stuck and I don't know what to do? And then one of the comments I get the most is, you don't understand how the educational videos and you sharing with your mom has helped me be a greater person, a greater caregiver, just more loving, implement strategies. And so by showing what our real life is and implementing what I've learned as an educator and just as an assistive technology specialist and reading specialist, I have been able to impact individuals, lead with love, and show them how to walk out this life without fear of the future and to actually live in abundance. And so it's been quite a journey and it's been hard, but I truly believe in showing people what we do in our what I call our truth and day-to-day life. It's really helping so many people, especially in our community. And it's grown our community so much. And I see people tagging me and saying, hey Ty, look at what I did today. This really worked with my mom. And it really touches, or my dad, it really touches my heart because it's just like, these are things that I'm doing normally, but people are taking these practices and saying, hey, this really works. And so we're changing one view at a time, one reel at a time. And I love that about what I'm able to do so that I can bring people in our home and just share our life with them.
Ty, thank you for coming on the show. If you'd like to hear more about Ty and Gertrude's story, we'll link their Instagram in the show notes. If you're a caregiver out there, we want to connect with you. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook by searching at Patience Rising. Or if you want to share your story directly with us, just email us at podcast@patiencerising.org. And remember that while caregiving is common, caregivers are special.